This is the Titanforged podcast, a podcast about World of Warcraft. Let's do this.
Welcome everybody to the first episode of the Titanforged podcast. I am your co-host, Marcus.
And I'm your co-host, Liz. And he's saying co-host so strongly because this is our multiple times recorded in the beginning. And the other times, Marcus just kind of went right in with, I'm your host. Like you just forgot I was here.
I never said host. I just struggled to say co-host.
You apparently struggle to share.
This is our very first episode podcast about WoW, obviously, as it said in the intro. Liz comes up with these pretty amazing topics. How would you like to start us off with our first one?
You set me up like this giant stage, and my start off is just tell me about ourselves.
Yeah, just like, I mean, we're putting you boom, boom, like okay. 3 spotlights. Challenge
accepted, because I know you're going to have to go after me, and your start into WoW is not nearly as amazing or as fabulous as my start into WoW. So let's do this.
It's true. Okay, all right.
I started actually in vanilla, which was before you. I was originally playing City of Heroes, because my older brother lived in the time in Seattle, and the only way that we could play or do stuff together was on online games. So we played City Heroes. Then he switched. As soon as WoW came out, he switched to World of Warcraft. But I didn't have the money. At the time, I was junior in high school, and I had $25 a month in chore money.
Oh, the chore money. Was that also lunch money?
No. It's a very sad story about me. I had lunch money that never got spent because there was people that would stand at the lunch card reader and take my card from me to get their own lunches. So I just stopped eating lunch.
The classic story of lunch money being stolen.
Yes, I was that kid. So I stopped eating lunch. But whole other thing, my chore money, I didn't have enough. I only had $25 a month, so I couldn't get WoW when it first came out. I had to wait for Christmas and save up all my Christmas money. You know how you have those aunts and uncles that, like, they don't know what to get you as a teenager, so you just get cash?
It was like, hey, here's $20. Well, I guess nowadays it's like so much more.
I was going to say, I think I had cheaper uncles and aunts than you did.
Yeah.
But so I pulled it all together and I had $50, which is not enough to get WoW with tax.
Ooh, big banking though.
Yeah, I know. So I had to go to, my dad's retired Air Force. We had to go to the local base, buy it at the BX because that's tax free. And that was, my $50 was just enough to get that.
Wow.
Although when I think back now, it was a 45-minute drive there and back, so the gas was probably more than the tax. My mom should have just loaned me that like $3 to pay for it in town. So I finally got it for Christmas, and I played with my brother and I think it was his girlfriend at the time. She later became his wife, but at the time I think it was just his girlfriend. And we played together. And he was a rogue. She was a mage, human rogue, human mage. And so I had to be a human, and I wanted to be a pet class, because I knew that I was going to need assistance. I had been a blaster in City of Heroes, so I knew I needed, like, some help. I died a lot.
You needed some... So the only class at the time that was available for a human was a warlock?
Yes, because they didn't have hunters.
Well, a class that has a pet. Yeah, okay.
So I picked a warlock, and I was going to name myself Ariel, but he didn't know how to spell that. So I took a shot, and I actually misspelled it. And then when I came in, and the whole plan was going to be Ariel. And then when I came in, my brother said, oh, so you named your character Aurelia. And I didn't want to say that I had misspelled the Little Mermaid. So we just rolled with it. So I've been Aurelia now for like however long the game's been out.
Many years have gone by, and your name is based off of a mistake.
More than a decade. And I use that name now in like every video game. So I roll in with the warlock. I actually didn't know, I had never heard of that term before, so I didn't know what that meant. And we're going, she's got this great red dress, it was super cool. I get the ability to summon the imp, and I didn't know what an imp was. And I just thought that since it was a pet, it was a squirrel-ish thing. So I called him the squirrel.
So you just referred to it as a squirrel at that. It was just a squirrel. I think, oh, you know what looks like a squirrel? You know what? That's a squirrel.
Yeah. No, I would actually tell my mom. She'd go like, what'd you do in the video game today? And I go, oh, the squirrel and I, we went and did no lie. for a long time, that was a squirrel. So then I got to like level, I think 10, and I got the Void Walker. And I remember when I summoned it for the first time, I looked at my mom and I was like, this is just laziness. They didn't even animate. Like there's bears and boars and all types of stuff out there. They could have given me any one of those. And they gave me like just a giant blue ball with arms hanging off of it. I don't even know what this is. And we called it, I'm not kidding, my whole family referred to it as the giant blue blob. And so like if we ran into trouble and we needed a tank, we'd call out the giant blue blob.
Wow.
Then I got to the next, whatever, 10 or 20, and I got the succubus, and I called that one out, and I was so mad because it was just a slut. Like, again, where's my bear? Where's my pet? I don't know why I'm not getting pets.
You wanted something beastly.
I wanted a pet, like, like a dog or something, or maybe a cat.
The squirrel wasn't enough for you?
He died a lot, so I needed a... So I pulled.
You could have named him Squirrelock Holmes.
Oh, that would be... No, you can't name imps.
Oh, yeah, that's right.
Anyway, I had the succubus. I summoned it one time only. I pulled it out, and I was thinking, this is crap. Some lonely developer. You know that typical deal? The guy that's like bleach white, lives in a permanent mess of empty Red Bull cans, has never seen a woman, made himself a slut that walks around, who by the way, her animation is to slap her ass. So
I'm sure there's some people out there who enjoy that.
Yes, they're very lonely and usually of the male persuasion. So I summoned her, and I even just wasted the shard. I was like, whatever, dismissed her, never pulled her out again.
Right, because still needed shards back then.
Yes, which was a big deal. I can remember sometimes where we'd be playing as a group, and I would need a soul shard, and they'd be killing it too fast, and I wouldn't be able to pull the drain soul out, and so I'd start yelling over Vince, stop killing it!
Wow.
Anyway, we get to the mount level, right? And we had been really, all three of us, pooling our money together so that we could afford the 90 gold each.
Which was level 40 at the time.
Yep. For my brother and his wife to get their mounts. We got theirs first, then we did the quest to get mine. And I had never read a quest before in WoW, which is totally opposite from how I play now. I read all quests.
Yes, you read everything.
I do, because they're good story. But back then I didn't have time because my brother doesn't read quests and he moves very fast. If you wanted to play, you had to be on point.
Yeah, so, I've never met a single person other than you who has read quests.
They're out there. Okay, I'm not a special unicorn. And, well, I am, just not in that regard. They get their mounts. They look awesome. They get to pick out their little colors. I go do my quest. And I thought it was strange, because that was the only time I read the quest was for this horse, because the mount quest was hard. That they kept mentioning stuff like that I was summoning demons, or that they didn't want to associate with my kind, as if I was like some shady person, and I'm not. I had my squirrel and my blue blob, and like the slut that I never pulled out. And then I summoned my mount, and I was devastated. It had these flames. It looked like a hell horse. It was just I kept looking at their mounts, going, "What? Why is mine on fire? Theirs is
blasphemy."
Normal." Yes. So Vent is dead silent, because they didn't know that was going to happen either. And I hear my brother's girlfriend at the time go, "Why is hers on fire?" And I'm still dead silent, just trying to like figure out what the hell has happened. And I said, "It looks like I summoned it from hell." And then all the stars started lining.
Oh my goodness.
As I realized the word summon. And then I just clicked on an ability that said summon Dreadsteed. And then I start thinking about, when I called out the squirrel, I wasn't like going, "Here, squirrel," and he shows up.
No.
I had to summon him with like the purple runes and stuff.
You were not calling him, you were summoning him.
I immediately dismount. I summon up the squirrel, and I zoom my camera in all the way.
The first good look at the squirrel.
Yes. I'm looking at him now, and I'm like, there's no bushy tail.
Oh
he doesn't look like a squirrel, and I'm panicked.
Unbelievable.
And I think the first thing I said was, "He's not a squirrel." So I had to start doing some research. And you know what? Back then, when you got to 40, you did not re-roll. That was a 6-month adventure. It was hard to get there.
Large investment.
So I stayed a Warlock all the way through Wrath, and then I switched to a healer class, and I played a healer all the way up to Legion. This is the first expansion where I've gone back to a DPS class.
Wow.
Oh, no. Try and top that. Go ahead. I can promise you've never thought that a demon was another animal.
I had more of a standard and traditional entrance into WoW.
Oh, you meanie.
I was in high school, and a buddy of mine would play on his computer all the time, and this was actually before I was even into computers. I am now I I'm pretty much an IT person as a profession. So anyway, he was playing WoW all the time, and I was like, man, that looks kind of like really fun. Like what do I gotta do to get into this, right? And
what do I have to do? As if like he had some kind of a drug dealer on the side.
Right. Who do you know? Who do I gotta know to be? No. So I bought the game, and
you just had $50.
I had a job when I was in high school.
Oh, you went there. You went there.
I've been working since I was like 15. So anyway, bought the game, and he was on a PvP server named Shattered Hand.
I love that name drop.
I just still remembered it, But of course, I never actually played with him. So I ventured into the PvP zone of a PvP server, and didn't even play with my friend. So
was it mostly balanced though, or was it like heavily Alliance, heavily Horde?
Maybe it was balanced. I don't know.
They're not now. Like if you go on a PvP server, you need to pick the right faction for that server because they're usually going to be like 80% one of them.
Wow. Okay. Well, I feel bad for people who have PvP problems. Actually, no, I don't, because we'll get to that. So anyway, let me see. Yeah, I created my first character, Human Rogue.
Which expansion did you start in?
Oh yeah, right. So I actually started in BC.
When you were in what grade
I was
in high school?
Sophomore.
Such a baby. Go ahead.
Anyway, yeah. So started in BC. Took me forever to get to level 70, and I probably spent more time at level 40 than I did at level 70. And
trying to figure out why your mount was on fire.
Which, by the way, when it came time when I hit 40 and 60, my guild paid for my mount.
I'm sorry, what? What did you do to the guild to get it so they would just gift you 90 gold and then whoa 60? That would be 900 gold.
900.
Oh yeah, it was 900 gold when you got to 60 for the amount.
Oh, it was?
You don't even
I don't even remember.
Oh my gosh. How did you get them to pay?
All right, so
Oh wait, let me guess. You had a job.
Yeah, no, I just paid them. I paid them off. No, okay,
serious?
no, seriously. I
think that's like gets the terms.
No, I got in like really tight with this guild who was run by this family, and which was really weird because I actually ended up becoming the guild master of that guild. And
okay. Now I know this is a load of crap. There's no way.
I promise this is 100% true. And this is so strange because, right, like, I'm a brand new character, less than a year into the game, hit GM, and like, yeah, that's very strange. Anyway, but that's how I got the guild to pay for my.
Wait, you became
stuff.
their GM, and then you just you initiated some kind of a slave tax and. You siphoned money away from them. How did you?
They paid for my mount stuff before.
Really paid for your. They wanted to help you.
They paid for that stuff before I hit GM.
Do you feel like that's what all rich people say when they steal from the poor? Is that
Maybe.
They wanted to do it?
You know, maybe.
Oh my gosh! I cannot believe you convinced them to pay for it.
You know, you're just jealous. Okay.
No, I earned mine by summoning it from hell.
And you're just jealous. So anyway, first year in WoW, finished out for the rest of BC. I only did PvP, and which actually after BC I swore off PvP from that point forward. I was very tired of just going out into anywhere in Azeroth and getting ganked. And, well, not only that, but the whole, like, spawn camping, like, as soon as you run back to your body, release your spirit or whatever.
So would you have kept doing PvP if you had been on a PvE server doing it in Battlegrounds?
Maybe.
Did you enjoy the Battlegrounds?
I still experienced a lot of rage, and I still have one story that still comes to mind. I was playing Warsong Gulch, and at the time, Warsong Gulch did not have a time limit. And I remember being so pissed after like this like 3.5 hour long Warsong Gulch battle.
Why didn't you just leave?
Right. Well, see, at the time, I was still getting all the merc gear. I did end up getting the full set of merc gear, by the way, but it costed badges, which you only got from the battlegrounds.
If it's a Warsong Gulch and you're going to lose, you're only going to get one anyway. So dump that one and then go get another one and lose fast.
Well, I didn't know if I was going to. One, it took a while to queue, so I'd have to wait for that. And then two, I didn't know if I was going to get another Warsong Gulch, was going to do the same thing.
Okay.
So anyway, I experienced so much rage that I ended up putting a ticket in with the GM.
Oh, you whiner. Are you serious?
I'm sure it was in like all caps or something. I was like, all right, this game is bullcrap. Like, I just spent 3.5 hours in this battleground, and it should only take maybe 30 minutes max. I lose them every time anyway because I play Alliance. If I'm going to go ahead and take the L, it needs to be damn quick. I was just so mad and beside myself, which is what caused me to swear off of PvP in general. So that's my introduction into WoW.
Okay, so to recap, I thought the demons were pets, and you were a baby whiner and sent a ticket in that your Warsong Gulch lasted too long?
Mean. Maybe something like that.
Okay, so what did you play? So you played a rogue for most of that. What have you played for your time in WoW? Have you always been a tank, a healer, a DPS?
When Wrath came along, I capped out my rogue, and still played that through for a while. I ended up picking up both a human priest that played Holy and Shadow, and because at the time dual spec was a thing. Actually, I think dual spec came out in Wrath.
I think so.
Which now you can just freely switch. And a protection paladin, which was just only protection. So
were you all humans?
The paladin was a dwarf, and the priest and rogue were humans.
It was a little racist. Like, I noticed none of those were Draenei, none of those were night elves who weren't adventuring out into the other races.
I hated. I seriously dislike the Draenei starting area.
Why?
It's like, it's really dull and boring.
You're not reading the quest anyway.
And like empty. There's like nobody around. You know, it's just, I don't know. I don't like it. And I always end up running to the human starting area. And I think it's just because there's people around. You're close by to Stormwind, the only relevant capital. Well, okay, Ironforge, sort of. And
for a long time, Ironforge was the only one with an auction house.
I don't care. I don't care. So, yeah, and then I didn't play Cataclysm, and I didn't play Warlord. So in Mist of Pandaria, I played a gnome mage.
Oh, so you ventured into another human-looking character, just shorter.
I actually, almost now, all the characters I make, like alts and stuff like that, they have to be gnomes first. Like if I want to play a class, it has to be able to be a gnome first. If it's not going to be a gnome, then I will venture out into some other race or whatever. But
human, you'll venture out into human.
You don't know.
We got worgons now. Do you have a worgen or a night elf? No.
I don't know if I have a night elf. No, I have a demon hunter. Boom.
Wow. You only had two choices, and you weren't going to play Horde.
Boom. Yeah, it actually, okay, so that's another thing I got to note. Never made a Horde character my entire life. Ever.
Okay. Well, for the Alliance, good for you.
Up until recently.
I QQ some more here. I don't know.
So, somebody, my counterpart, has, decided that they were going to play Horde during this expansion. And so when I picked it up, I had to do everything by myself. And,
That's where you were in BC, right? Your friend abandoned you. You were playing by yourself. You should know what it feels like. Look, all I'm saying is I wanted to do the Horde. Sylvanas became war chief. I wanted to see that story out. You don't care about story anyway, so I don't know why you care. And if you only want to be short characters, they have goblins.
Yeah, but the goblins are pretty ugly.
That's not nice.
I don't care.
And they have a new user model for Gallywix, and that looks pretty badass. He's got like 7 chins there.
Whoever that is.
The Trade Prince Gallywix. He's the king of all the goblins.
Uh-huh.
Okay, Mr. I'm going to be a gnome. Who's the leader of all the gnomes? What?
Trick question.
No, it's not a trick question. There is a leader. Pop out his name. You don't know.
Millhouse.
What?
I was thinking of the first gnome name to come to mind.
Okay, no, it's Mechantork. But if you're going to go down...
Yeah, that's what I said.
No, yes. If you're going to go down the Millhouse road, what 5-man did Millhouse initially get initiated in? Where did you meet him? Go ahead. Can't do it, can you? You have nothing.
Nomergon.
Nomergon.
I have always heard it as Nomergon, so...
Either way, you're wrong. That's not where he was.
Yeah, but that's because I was just trying to trip you up.
Oh.
No, you go on. You're on a roll. Go ahead and say where you came from.
He was in Alcatraz. Next to the Eye in Netherstorm. You break him out on the last boss.
Alcatraz?
Yeah.
Is that a BC raid?
No, it's a BC 5-man.
I mean, BC 5-man? Yeah, I didn't do any of the 5-mans. It was strictly PvP. Well, anyway, if you haven't noticed, I don't know anything about the WoW lore, and I don't intend to learn. So...
Oh, you're gonna learn. It's gonna get slowly shoved down that throat of yours. You're gonna learn it.
So, what about you? What are you playing now?
Right now, I play a Beastmaster Hunter. Although this is the one expansion where I have the most amount of alts, and it's because I could boost them. And I hate the leveling from 1 to 60, or 1 to any of it actually.
1 to anything.
And I love the class halts. I love that there's class campaigns. I love the story. I do the lore stuff. So I have a rogue and a warlock and a priest and a demon hunter. I think that's it. Ooh, I might have made a mage too. I can't remember. But my main right now is the Beastmaster Hunter. I played the warlock all the way up through Wrath, and then I've never been a good DPSer. Not gonna lie. Like in vanilla, I could pull off 1 or 2 in DPS, and then in BC it started going down, and then at Wrath I was like really feeling good if I could hit 7th place. And the last instance that warlock ever went into was Trial of Crusade. There was a group in trade chat that said that they were looking for players, and I offered myself up, and we went to go do it. and they made us join on Vent, which is a female player. When you get on Vent, I don't talk unless I absolutely have to, because usually what happens is I speak, someone says something about, oh, it's a female player, and then, so I try not to talk, but I got on there, we did like the 2 bosses, and then someone immediately says, we should kick the warlock. They're obviously like not even trying. The DPS is so low. And I was trying, for reference. I was doing my best. And I was so embarrassed that I just left. I literally just left Vent, left the raid, just hearthed out. And then I never played it. I think that character is genuinely still sitting at Wrath.
That was your last experience with that character.
I felt so bad. I immediately rolled a healer. I have never played tank. I played healer and I played DPS. I've never played tank. And the reason is because I feel like tanks have to be prepared going into it. They have to like know the fights and stuff. And I don't do instructions on anything. Like when I buy stuff for like my kid that has to be put together, I don't read the instructions. When I get new drugs from the doctor, if they don't tell me how much I have to take, I just make a stab at it.
Unbelievable.
I don't read the instructions there either. I don't do instructions. They are annoying and time consuming. So if I can't immediately figure it out, I either just don't assemble it and it lays around unassembled, or somebody else who loses patience with the fact that it's not assembled assembles it for me. And I feel like tanks have to do the instructions.
I think to some degree, right? Because if you just do a bunch of dungeons, you kind of have got most of the cliff notes of where to stand and what to do for the most part. So there's no way I would watch a video on how to tank a dungeon. It's just not gonna happen. But with the raids, yeah, because there's stuff going on behind the scenes there. Like they're trading off and stacks and like really old and boring mechanics that just don't seem to ever go away, which is primarily stacks. So
I'll say that my significant other, as you know, is really big into boss video. He's a tank. Boss videos. He won't do a 5-man if he hasn't seen a video on the whole thing. He's very prepared. And we were supposed to do Arcway and Quarter Stars on Mythic because I needed to do them for the Suramar quest. And then I can't remember. He went into a raid or whatever, but he ended up not doing them with me. And so I was just gonna try and get him done. So I queued up with the group, and I tried to watch the video. I think I made it probably 30 seconds in, and that part of me that always stops me from completing instructions was like, okay, no, we're not doing it. I was thinking, how hard can it be? So I do Arcway, and for the most part, it was kind of self-explanatory, like you said. And I get on to the last boss. I'm even, I think, watching a TV show on my other monitor. And I'm half playing, half watching the TV show. And then something happens in the middle of the fight. And it summons you back to the front of the instance. It's just like the new version of Dead Mines. And you have to then fight your way back to the end. And in a time constraint, it puts a debuff on you that's 2 minutes or something. And
I never did the heroic version of Dead Mines.
If you don't get to the end before that debuff pops off, you die. And so I'm half watching the TV show, half playing, and all of a sudden it ports me to the beginning, and I'm with the rest of them, and they're running as fast as they can to get to the end, and I'm like, oh crap! No one said this was gonna happen. I had no idea, and I wasn't paying a whole lot of attention during the instance, so I don't really know how to get to the end. So wow. I gotta catch up, and then I am right on that tank because I'm thinking I can't afford to get lost. We get to the end with 30 seconds to spare on that debuff. I gotta tell you, when we finished the instance, I was sitting in my chair just that was really stressful. And I never told my significant other because I know the first thing out of his mouth would be this is why you have to watch the video.
Oh so my goodness.
I wasn't gonna tell him.
I've always just taken the more laid back disposition.
That's what I thought too until they ported me. It was that one bit me in the rear.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, do you have any other parting notes before we end this episode?
I'm extremely excited. I do have talking points for the next probably 10 episodes. So I'm ready to go.
So be prepared. We have things to say and things and stuff apparently.
I am very rarely speechless. It's a significant situation for me to be speechless.
It's true.
You not so much.
Yeah. No. I like to stay reserved. I think that's a good word for it.
Sure. Boring is also appropriate, but go ahead.
So anyway, that's going to be...
What's that line? On that bombshell.
Yeah, on that bombshell. That is going to end this, our very first episode of the Titanforged podcast. I appreciate anybody who's tuned in to listen. And we'll see you next time.